Wow, that was pretty cool. Welcome to the Jeffery Show. I've been here for not even a minute and all of you have already stuffed up. Did you seriously hire a band, after I specifically told you not to hire a band? I'm looking at you, intern 5.
I didn't hire a band.
Well, what was that then?
A band.
Oh, was it really? I couldn't tell. Look, intern 5, I just traveled back in time by like a year or something in a cardboard box and I've got the worst jet lag right now, so I don't care who hired the band, or why they hired the band, despite the fact that I left like 17 memos telling everyone not to hire a band for the first episode. Just check the show's budget, and tell me how much money we lost on that. I need to know if we have to cut the jumping cancel bit from next episode.
I'm on it.
Well then, seeing as we have a new studio, I decided we should have some more segments. The other day, I went out and bought this neat chair here. I decided to call this chair the interview chair, because that's where people sit when we do interviews. I mean, what did you expect? A joke? Get real, come on. Anyway, so I bet you're wondering who the first special guest is going to be on the show. Well, keep wondering, because I'm not telling you yet. Before we get into the first interview, I feel like I should debut yet another new segment. You see, recently, a bunch of my fans have been suggesting things for me to do on my show, to get tons of views. For example, last week Michelle Obama asked me on MySpace to do the bottle flip challenge, as I will get tons of views. What better way to take these requests than to turn them into an exciting series? I present to you, Operation Get Views. Today, we are going to be doing said bottle flip challenge. Let's go. Welcome students, to my class, where I'll teach you how to get millions of YouTube views. This time, we are doing the bottle flip challenge. While you may have, I actually haven't seen this challenge before. It must be really new or something. As much as I should probably look it up, the name really does explain itself. Flip a bottle. That's all you gotta do, right? Now, to flip a bottle you'll need a few things, first of which is obviously a bottle. Also be sure that your bottle is about half full of water. This step is important. Without the water, your bottle will not flip properly and won't balance correctly. This could cause it to fall over, which might cause an accident, so be careful. Right, next things next, you'll need some tools. A hammer, a baguette, some nails, actually no baguette, a wrench, stuff like that. Of course, if you don't have any of these, you can get them pretty easily. Simply head down to your local Whole Foods, walk up to the cashier, and ask them for a toolkit. Turns out they sell toolkits at Whole Foods. They're just on their secret menu. Now that you have your tools, take your bottle and get flipping. You might want to toss on some glitter, maybe a bit of tinsel, nail on your favorite photo or something. The possibilities are endless. Also, if you have another bottle, why not add on another room or something, maybe a guest bedroom? I mean, I could do with another one of them ever since Santa crashed into mine, but that's old news, am I right? Hold on, let me take this call. I'm in the middle of a class, I'll have to call you back. Oh, producer, I didn't know it was you. What do you need? I'm flipping a bottle. What do you mean? That's not how you flip a bottle. It's a completely valid definition of flip. Google it. Do it. Go on. Yeah. What did I tell you? It's like that one season of House Hunters. No, not that one. Not that one either. There's like 15 spin-offs. We're gonna be here all day if you keep up like that. It's the one where they renovate the houses. What about that one episode with Bob and Rose who go to look at that one house with the out-of-date kitchen and the unsightly pink bathroom? You know. Rose loves it, but Bob hates it, but Bob doesn't get a say, because Rose is the one who makes all the money on her banana plantation, while Bob stays at home playing that one level in Super Mario 64, that no one remembers, trying to get that one star no one remembers, despite the fact that Rose got it 12 years ago, but refuses to ask her, because he wants to work it out himself. even though he never will, that episode. Also because they have to renovate something, Rose just makes the bathroom even pinker and uglier, even though it really shouldn't be possible. Have you not seen that episode? I have. That's how I know what happens. Right, so you're saying all I have to do is literally flip the bottle. Right. I see. I'm always here taking things literally, but the one time I try to think outside the box, I'm still doing it wrong. Ahem. And that, folks, is how you flip a bottle. Hope you were taking notes, or something. Wow, that was a fun little segment. I've got plenty more requests in my inbox, so who knows what trend we'll be trying next time. Anyway, we should move on to that interview. Without wasting any time, I'm very happy to announce that our first guest ever is Dylan Tramp. Yeah, I get it. You're all very confused. Well, you see, since the beginning of this channel, Dylan and I have been constant enemies, and I decided that it would be a great start to the series if we could have a chat and make up. It's an especially great time too, because he's apparently just started work on a hit new reality TV show. Come on in, Dylan.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Dylan. I'm glad you could take time out of your busy schedule as being president to join us here today, especially after what happened last time we met. Let's start with a simple question. What have you gotten up to recently?
I'm going to tell you a couple of stories.
I built a net worth of more than $10 billion.
I just sold an apartment for $15 million.
I have a great company.
I've been watching you for the last couple of weeks.
I employ thousands of people.
Wow, sounds like fun. I wish I was there. So you're making a TV show, right? Funnily enough, the name escapes me. Was it Donald Duck? Or maybe Don Dylan? What was it again? I can't quite remember.
And the answer is Donnie Don.
Oh, of course. Donnie Don. Now I'm not expecting any big exclusives or anything, but do you care to tell us what exactly the show is about?
Basically, President Trump, Ted Cruz, and Michelle
need to build
a nice $2.5 billion car factory in Mexico.
Oh, I see. Sounds thrilling. To someone. Not sure who, but I bet at least one person enjoyed it. Do you maybe have any clips you can show us to get us all interested?
Yes, just like I promised, right? I will tell you, this is going to be something special.
Dylan, we have a problem. The Mexican government doesn't want to fund the nice $2.5 billion car factory anymore. What should I tell them?
Say this to
the Mexican government.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. Why?
Well, great job, I guess. Asking for a friend now, but what would you do if I said that my friend that I'm asking for said that your show looks like garbage? Again, I'm asking for a friend.
I will immediately terminate Mexico.
Wow, calm down, it was just a joke.
Part of the reason I'm here is that I know how to take a joke. I don't hold grudges against anybody.
Well, you don't sound like you can take a joke very well to me. I don't appreciate your attitude either, so I think it's time for you to leave.
Then there's something wrong with you. You're certainly not very good. You're not a nice person.
You know what, Dylan? I invited you here for a nice chat about your new TV show, Donnie Don, but instead, I get rude insults and someone that can't take a joke, even if it wasn't actually a joke and instead the complete truth, but still. I knew this would be a bad idea to have you on.
I'm really rich.
Look, Dylan, get out of my studio, please.
No.
This is unacceptable.
No.
Please get out.
No.
Or I'll have to take further action.
No.
Dylan, out. Now.
No.
I'm not having this.
No.
Stop it, Dylan. You need to leave.
No.
This has gone far enough. Get out.
No.
It might seem surprising, but I didn't actually want to have to drop a piano on him, although I did kind of see that one coming. I mean, who didn't? That interview was getting really boring, so I think I did us all a favor anyway. Oh, well, would you look at that? Time really flies. I think we do have time for one more segment though, but what to do? Oh, a story. I can do stories. Let me get something. Here it is, my storybook. Whenever something interesting happens, I write it down in here. Let me see if I can find a good story. Oh, this one sounds good. How about the time I went skydiving? Alright, so here's the deal. One December, I was putting the last details onto my Christmas tree when my doorbell started ringing. I went outside to see who it was, and it was my best mate Gary. He'd come over to tell me that he recently obtained some skydiving tickets at a cheese rolling competition. He told me that he didn't actually win them, though. I'm pretty sure the judges gave them to him so he'd leave, but quite frankly it was the judge's fault for not telling Gary that he wasn't supposed to actually eat the cheese. Long story short, he wanted to know if I was free to go with him tomorrow. I told him that I would be fine going skydiving with him, because I was an expert at it. You see, I've done this thing before where you jump off a garden shed onto a trampoline while holding an umbrella, which is basically the same thing as skydiving really. The next day I grabbed my backpack, met up with Gary, and headed to the skydiving center. When we arrived, some guy that looked like a squirrel appeared. Gary gave him our tickets, and then the squirrel guy led us into a room with a TV up the front and a bunch of seats everywhere. We both sat down, and then the man asked us if this was our first time skydiving. I told him about the time I jumped off the garden shed, but he said that was nothing like skydiving. He told us to watch the TV as he put some instruction video on. I watched like 3 seconds of it and fell asleep. Not like it matters though. I've done this before. When I woke up, the squirrel guy was busy going over something about a parachute and how we should deploy it like 1500 meters from the ground or something like that. He went over a bunch of other rules and it was finally time to skydive. The instructor told me that I should do a tandem dive. I asked him what that was, and he told me it was where you skydive in a pair, but I told him that I didn't want to because I already had one in my backpack. We went out of the building and hopped into the plane, which proceeded to fly up into the air. We were flying for like 5 minutes when the squirrel guy said it was time to jump. Gary was really excited and jumped first. The squirrel man told me it was my turn to jump. I wasn't too scared seeing as I've been up higher before, so I hopped out of the plane and started falling. It was pretty neat, and I saw tons of stuff like birds, some balloons, a rocket, and a tangerine. The ground looked like it was about 1500 meters away, so I pulled out my tape measure to check, and sure enough it was. I decided to deploy the parachute now, so I pulled on the ripcord. Turns out, I had the backpack I had brought along on, and not my parachute. I started freaking out a bit, but then I saw something even crazier than all that stuff before. I was falling right towards the White House. Seeing as I've been to the White House so many times, I knew that there wasn't a pool outside to land in. However, if I were to land just right, I could smash through the roof and land in the indoor pool. The only thing I could do now is fall and hope for the best, so that's just what I did. Here's the ironic bit though. The moment I fell through the roof, I didn't land in the pool, but on something else. And that's what happened the time I went skydiving. Isn't that ironic? So, with that marks the end of this episode. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the first episode of The Jeffery Show, Season 1. Be sure to tune in next week for more funny stories, interviews and segments. Next week especially is gonna be tons of fun. Just you wait for that bit with the bouncy castle.
About that.
I'm doing the outro in turn 5. Have some respect.
It's important though.
Is it more important than making bank? If I don't get this video finished then I don't get paid, and neither do you.
I don't get paid anyway.
Not if you keep up that attitude. Be sure to leave a like, and make sure you subscribe, so you don't miss out on the next episode, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.